Yeah, man, we got a lot going on.
Cool Bobbito
We got a
in the
special
building.
guest in the building.
I don't even want to wait on the introduction.
Yeah.
But it's
Just
special.
go, B.
Yeah.
This guy.
Gonna say, "Okay, cool, Bob Love."
Oh, man.
What's up? Formerly known as Cucumber Slice. Formerly known as Bobbito the Barber, the Edge of King Swing. What's up, everybody? Peace.
Living legend.
Can I just say something?
What?
You are one of the people that motivated me to want to be on the radio.
Oh, word.
Like,
Tell him, Jen.
for you to be here in front of me, like, it's just it's a big deal for me.
Give me a
It
pound.
really is.
Excellent. I appreciate that, yo.
Respect Puerto Rico, baby.
He was one of the first people on the radio that didn't sound like a radio announcer. You know, like everybody was doing that radio announcing, and not you. You was up here conversating, talking to rappers, like doing dope interviews. Like, I just really, I respect you.
I appreciate that.
It's a big deal that you're here in front of me right now.
Bob, for those listening, Bob, let's go down memory lane a little bit. You know,
no doubt. And I was just explaining to the brother right here. I was on radio from 1990 to 2002 on WKCR 89.9 FM. The first 8 years with DJ Stretch Armstrong.
That's what's up.
And then the last 4 years with my man Lord Sid, who's now up here on Shade 45.
Lord Sid, who fucked everything up. And after you left, you handed him the show on a platter. I've been waiting to say this shit, baby. DJ Lord Sid, Shade 45, our own DJ Lord Sid. This guy fucked the show up, baby.
But he got kicked off KCR.
How?
But Sucio Smash took over the show after that and made it Squeeze Radio, did a fantastic job for the next 10 years. So that show, that time slot lasted for us, you know, for community-based people that weren't Columbia students for, you know, 20 years plus. That's a blessing, yo. Because you're supposed to be a student to be on the air at Columbia.
Nah, that was... It's just a lot came out of that show.
Oh, no doubt.
I mean, we hear the Wu-Tang stories, the Big L stories, the Jay-Z stories.
Broke a lot of people.
A lot of people got broken through that shit. Because that show, y'all was like the yin and the yang to commercial Hot 97 radio at the time.
Well, the thing was, what's your name again? I'm sorry.
Jenny Boom Boom.
Jenny Boom Boom. I don't have a cell phone and I don't have satellite radio, so like when I come here, no disrespect, I just don't know who anybody is.
Don't worry about it, baby.
Boom Boom.
Nobody knows in the street anyway. We're good.
Stop it. Anyways.
Yeah, that's fucked up now.
I'm just
Google me, okay?
No, but what I was saying is that when me and Stretch got on the radio in 1990, we had no aspirations to be on commercial radio, so that's why we just nerded out and just did what we did because. It was
pure what you guys did. It was just from the
heart.
heart.
But a lot of mixed show DJs, a lot of college DJs at that point, they aspired. They saw it as the next step, logically, to be on commercial radio. But for us, it was just to have fun. So, having 20 years, 23 years later. Funny enough, the timing of this on Friday, February 22nd, myself and Stretch Armstrong will be at the New Museum doing a 20-year retrospective on 1993. Sasha Jenkins from Ego Trip is going to moderate.
Right.
And it's the New Museum right down on Bowery, below Houston Street. We're just going to bug out, talk about 93. 93 was a pivotal year for our show.
Right.
In terms of Nas, that's when Nas, right before Nas' album came out in 94, he came up, freestyle on top of his head, previewed the whole album.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of pivotal things that happened. That probably, for me, that was our best radio year ever.
For somebody like Bobbito, who's in the essence and the start of hip hop radio, you know what I'm saying?
No, definitely not.
But you're in the good beginning part of it.
I'm gonna actually correct you because a lot of people call me a pioneer, and I have to. Nah. I appreciate
He's
that.
so humble.
Listen, no.
We're gonna give it to you because you're Puerto Rican.
African Islam started the first hip hop radio show back in like 81, 82 on WHBI.
Right, I remember.
And there was another dude named Jeff Foss who was doing a rap show out in Long Island on like Hofstra Radio or something like that. So there's people that was doing it way before Stretch and I. I mean, we came along and I think we changed the face and the direction of.
You guys did something special.
It's also generations too.
We did something special, yeah. But I'm saying I gotta show respect to the elders. I mean, talking about Red Alert, Marley Marl, Pete Rock, Kevy Kev, Awesome 2. Those dudes did a radio show. I mean, talking about Kevy Kev in California, he still got the longest running radio show in the world. Wow. He started his hip hop show on Stanford KZSU in 1982 or 83, and he's still on every Sunday. That dude's he's a pioneer. You know what I'm saying? But But anyway, I'm sorry. I didn't mean.
No, it's all good. But my
if you want
question.
to call me a legend, I'll take that.
Take that.
No, I gotta give you that, man.
Listen, but my question is just for somebody like, you know, that you've been in the game for so long and you've seen a lot, you know, people come, go, and you know radio, you're familiar with it. Like I said, you were, you know, in the essence of it, whether you want to take that title or not, you were in the beginning of it. And when you look at it now, like, what do you think about hip-hop and radio, what it's become?
They told me you were good at what you do, but wow, that's a high-powered question.
I'm just giving. I mean, I do this, but I came into it at a you know, I'm a newbie still. You know what I'm saying? I'm 10 years in. That's still brand new. So anytime I get to talk to somebody like you that's been in it for so long, I want to pick your brain, and I want to.
No doubt. I think our me and Stretch's influence is vital for the '90s in terms of you got to remember the frame that we were in. And that we were the conduit to the best music available in the world. And, you know, we took 4 hours and maybe listened to like 100 records a week to determine which would comprise our show that week. So it was just like, it was like we were like mentors for, you know, millions and millions of listeners worldwide. But now, like, you know, the accessibility to hip hop is very wide. And college radio DJ or mix show DJ or whatever may not get the record first because it's released on the internet and everybody could download it instantly and it's free and all these other things. So it's just a different era, and it's a beautiful era. You know, I'm glad that hip hop radio is still alive and everything. But and I'm not saying that one is better than the other. It was just different. You know what I'm saying? It was just different. So people look to us for like what was like, for example, like. In 1991, Ason Unique came up to our radio show. Nobody knew who he was. Killed it. Everybody's wondering, who's this dude? 2 years later, he becomes Old Dirty Bastard. Wu-Tang comes out. They give us their white label 12-inch. We play it. I don't even know what I'm playing. Stretch wasn't there. Right. And then all of a sudden, everybody's like talking about this song with karate, and nobody even knows what the song is. Right. You know what I'm saying? So there's no way that could happen now because you would ID the download and be like, oh, that's Wu-Tang, you know. So it's just a different time, you know. But
I truly believe, not to cut you off, that Loud Records. Loud Records. It came off of your show. Like it was like the rappers went to your show, you promoted them there, and from there, Steve picked up a lot of those guys.
Well, to be honest, when Mobb Deep was Poetical Prophets and Unsigned, they actually came up to our radio show. Biggie Smalls was Unsigned, he came up to our radio show. So the first time anyone's hearing those two groups, which are like monumental for the 90s, the first time anyone's hearing them publicly, live, is on our radio show. Right. And the same thing could be said for, you know, Nas, same thing could be said for Big Dog, The Punisher, later becomes Big Pun, Killer Cam, Murder Mace, come up with Big L. Later on, they become Mace and Cameron. Right. And then there's a
Children of the Corn, right?
Children of the Corn. But then there's a myriad of artists that were indie, like Company Flow, Juggernauts, you know, Cenobites. All these dudes like come up to our show that they didn't get the commercial success that the other ones did. So that's what the thing was interesting, because people just didn't know. Like, you came up to our show and ripped it. You didn't know if that was going to be the next platinum artist, or if that was going to be the next like underground icon, you know. And some of them we expected to do well, some of them it was totally unexpected.
Yeah, like what artist did you see that came up to your show that ripped it, that you played their music and you knew, you knew?
I think Nas, you know, hands down, I have to say, when he came up to our show in February 1991. So this is 3 years before his album comes out. He's completely unsigned. He's just.
How do you remember this shit?
He's like
you have it all locked in.
Yes.
Do you have like?
Because
I know you was able to buy your show at a couple of stores. Like I remember Fat Beats used to sell.
Well, there was a dude that used to bootleg our show. Yeah. I'm not gonna say his name on air, but you know, actually, I'm happy that he did, because when me and Stretch went to Japan in '95, we were going to record stores with like, you remember how they used to sell mixtapes in the case behind the counter? Like, yo, it was like 30, 40 tapes of our show. I'm like, yo, somebody owes us money. Right. But at the same token, it brought our show, because again, there's no internet, so it brought our show worldwide. I'm happy that they bootlegged this.
Well, I just want to admit I bought some of those bootlegs. I think I still have them in my house.
But Jeff, we eventually started selling our own tapes through Fat Beats distribution, and they got out there. But yeah, Nas, I would definitely say, I think we all knew that there was something special, and you know, again, to flip back to 20 years, and me and Stretch will talk about this at this discussion at the Lee Museum on Friday the 22nd. You know, that was the unequivocal, most anticipated album of the decade.
Right.
I'm not saying it's the best album. In my estimation, it was. I'm saying that's arguable which was the best album of the decade. But unequivocally, that was the most anticipated album. Like, people were bugging waiting for Nas's album to come out.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember.
So, you know, that was real special for him to come up. Nobody knew that he could rhyme off the top of his head. Nobody had ever heard him do that. So when he did that in '93, and then he was playing exclusives off the album and everything, that was crazy. That was a special moment. But there's a lot of special moments. You know, but anyway, that's what I did 20 years ago. Right now, I'm talking about.
We had to give him the rundown, man.
Yeah.
We had to. You know what
I
I'm
know.
saying? So.
A lot, you know, people know me for different things, but what I'm trying to accomplish now and today is I co-directed a film with Kevin Coolio. It's called Doing It in the Park, Pick Up Basketball NYC. And it's a beautiful documentary, poured the last 3 years into it. And we're going to release it in the spring, independently. Right now, we have a Kickstarter.com campaign to raise funds so that we can get it in theaters and put out the DVD and all that. We self-funded the film.
Right.
You know, so you know, we able to finish it and produce it, but now to get it to that next stage, we need the community's help. And we already reached our goal. We actually surpassed it, and we got 3 more days for people to continue to contribute. So you go to Kickstarter.com, type in Doing It in the Park. Just go to our website, Doing It in the Park. That's spelled without a G. I'm sorry, doingitinthepark.com. That's spelled without a G.
Okay.
And yeah, you know, it's a blessed thing to be up here talking about the film and talking about the radio show. You know, we can talk about other things too. I did NBA Street Volume 2, Volume 3.
Yeah, no, we're gonna get into all that, man.
Sneakerhead.
2K9, 2K10.
We got.
Yeah, man, Shay 45 SMS Radio. We have our special guest in the building, Bobbito Garcia.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
We just
Hanging
played
out
one
with
of
us.
your classic freestyles.
Yo, Bobbito, I took that straight from a mixtape.
Yeah,
I'm not even lying.
yeah. I gotta apologize to the world basically because when Stretch was DJ, I didn't have a good control or command of technology.
Right.
So a lot of the freestyles from the early '90s, they're just super distorted. Because I'd be so amped, you know, cats be killing it, and it's like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
I think that when Jay and Big L did that, it might have been like 3:30 a.m.
Yeah.
It was late. So I'm tired, you know, I'm not paying attention to the levels.
Right.
Yeah,
You just letting them go.
Yeah. Sorry.
So
I messed up a lot of quality moments with my lack of control.
No, you got a lot of classic shit, man. So you gotta be happy about
But
that.
thank you for playing that down one. Yeah,
Cut it out,
I believe that was from 1994, 1995. I don't really remember that date. I can look up. I have a
Archive.
archive of every single guest
Right.
and the date that they came up.
Oh, wow. That's
That's
dope.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
I
a
could,
classic.
you know, I was looking at that the other day because Talib Kweli's been blowing up, doing it in the park, you
Right.
know, on his Twitter, you know, and our Twitter handle for that is @doing it in the park,
Okay.
without a G. So I was like, yo, this dude is showing me so much love right now. So I just looked at the calendar, and I said, oh snap, January 5th, 1995, Talib Kweli. Yo, he came up in '95 with Taj from the Alcoholics.
Right.
And I was like, wait a second, he have a record out
That was
3-4
early.
years later.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, Reflection Eternal was mad. Like, so I was like, wow, I forgot that his you know, I always mention Pun and Jay and Nas and Wu and Mobb Deep, but yo, Talib is another crazy, well-known dude in the rap world that started on my show too.
Who was called and thanked you?
Called and thanked me?
Yeah.
What do you see? Like, you're a New Yorker.
Yeah.
You gotta bump heads with some of these dudes.
I'll be honest with you. I retired from rap radio in 2002. I stopped doing Vibe magazine in 2004. I used to have a column there.
Right.
And I really, nowadays, if you come here and be spin anywhere around the world, I get booked. I've DJed in 35 countries and 5 continents. I mostly play like world music, jazz music, Latin, Afrobeat.
Right.
Sometimes I play my breaks, whatever, but I'm not, people sometimes they come out and be like, yo, play MF Doom. I'm like, yo, that record is like 82 beats per minute. Like, it would just kill the dance floor right now.
Right.
Props to MF Doom, but it's just not a dance floor record.
Right.
But yes, I don't really bump into many people. I don't,
It's on the film.
Doing it in the park.
I was the music supervisor for the film.
Okay.
Okay.
And had the blessing of opening up for Eddie Palmieri, 9-time Grammy Award winner, for his 75th birthday concert. After that concert, I spoke to his manager and said, yo, I'm doing an indie documentary on playground basketball. I know this is a stretch.
Right.
But you think Eddie would be interested in scoring the film?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I had cojones to ask that, you know?
Yeah.
He said, yo, Eddie's never
You was like, yo,
scored-
mind you, I was drinking a couple beers in the back.
I don't drink. I don't drink. You know that. I don't drink or smoke. Not, you know, whatever. I do eat like these pretzels though.
We'll
Anyway,
get
so
you
yo,
on
It's
that.
free, brother.
so bust out. Yo, they be like, yo, Eddie never scored a film. He'd love to. So we got 2 9-time Grammy Award winning tracks on the film, original compositions. We got a cat named 20 Van Sil from France. He's like the DJ premier of France, basically.
Right.
His groups are like huge out there. He did like 10 songs for us.
Why did you go to him to score?
Well, Kevin Coolio, my co-director, is from France.
Right.
So it's a binational production. So
Okay.
want to represent the music of his country as well.
Oh, that's what's up, baby.
Yeah, man, we got some fun music in there.
But you,
That was mad fun doing the music for the film.
right.
Why do a movie on playground basketball? Like, what was it? Like, what was?
Now we
the
know you're a
drive-
fan
Yeah,
of
we-
basketball. Like we
Right.
seen you play.
But why did you feel it was important to make a movie about it and put so much focus on it?
Yeah, well, first of all, I've been playing ball since I was 7 years old. I played professionally in Puerto Rico. Played in every single tournament here in New York. I'm knocking on 50 soon, still playing pickup. I just felt like I'm a dude that I try to see what's out there and I try to fill the void. So there's a lot of beautiful documentaries out there. Through the Fire, Sebastian Telfair, Hoop Dreams, you know, but they always on high school cats or NBA players or, you know, all the dope joints on 30 for 30 ESPN.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They do
I like those.
they're ill.
Yeah.
They're ill. Fab Five was bananas. But everybody was doing them on college players, NBA players, high school players. I was like, yo, there's something missing here. Pick up basketball. Everybody can identify with it. No matter where you are in the world.
Right.
So the Mecca is New York, so let's focus the film on that. But, you know, we've already screened the film in 5 continents. We won the Audience Award for Best Feature at Urban World Film Festival here. Sold the theater out at the AMC on 34th Street. They had to add a show.
Right.
So that's why we just pushing here with the Kickstarter.com campaign to raise money so we can release it independently for the rest of the world to see it at any point. Digital download from doingitinthepark.com, spelled without a G.
Yeah.
And we also have a Facebook.com/doingitinthepark, spelled without a G. And our Twitter handle is @doingitinthepark. That's spelled without a G.
You know,
Awesome.
I want also explain how important the playgrounds in New York City with this film is. Because I believe you got some on West 4th.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's ground zero for pickup basketball in the world, basically. And then Rucker Park is as hallowed ground as you could imagine.
Right.
The amazing thing for, you know, everybody's hip hop heads in here is that, you know, the same locations for hip hop were the same very locations for basketball in the city. You know, like that's where all the early park jams happened. Dykeman, Uptown. You can look at Star Wars, and when Frosty Freeze is doing doing the Headache, it's on Dykeman. You know, right now that's one of the biggest tournaments in the world outdoors. The GOAT, named after Earl Manor GOAT.
Right.
That's as legendary a basketball court as you can find. To the hip hop world, is known as Rocksteady Park. There's dudes that go there, and women that don't even know the basketball history.
Right.
So we try to tie that together in the film and show people the connection, and then really just show people the community of people who play basketball in New York. From hearing impaired players to incarcerated, we were allowed access to Rikers Island. We shot in the prison yard.
Wow.
We did 100.
Get the fuck out of here.
We did 180 courts in 75 days. Me and Kevin on the film. So I mean, I'm super. I understand, and I said this the other day. I don't think people realize my start as a public figure is on radio.
Right.
So to go from a radio show host to 20 years later being a filmmaker,
Right.
that's crazy, B.
The
You know what I'm
transition.
saying? That's a
Great
crazy transition. So I'm real proud when I come on radio shows. I'm like, yo, like, I'm one of y'all.
Right.
You know,
And
no
that-
longer, but I'm still, you know, my heart is. It's easy for me to. I'll take over your show if you want me to.
Right. No, and that's why
Nelson, you're fired.
yeah, exactly.
Hey God,
That's-
someone finally fired him.
Yay.
That's why I started it. The break.
Oh, okay.
So definitely check for Doing It in the Park. What's the website?
Doingitinthepark.com. It's spelled without a G. That's spelled DOINITHEPARK.com. ITINTHEPARK.com. You can see our trailer, you can see our press links, you can see our making of videos, and then ultimately we're trying to raise funds in the next 3 days. So if you go to Kickstarter.com, type in Doing It in the Park, or just do a search for Bobbito Garcia on Kickstarter.com. You can see how you can pledge, contribute to the film, help us get it out there independently. Yo, thank you to everybody up here.